This is the mausoleum that Elvis was originally buried in. Now we're going to walk inside. Huh? Okay. Carry him right up these steps. Right through this big door right here. This is the chapel. Okay, then they turn, and right here's the room that he was buried in. And that big door right there. You can see where people have hung. You can see where people have hung flowers and pictures. Oh, see, this is a pretty good sized place here.
There ain't right. They took down.
What are you saying?
There was some water. It's taken right out of the inside. At the back. Something cut. Pull you up, Rich.
Well, honey, the camera's still going. My little bridge. Okay. So this is the Z section. Let me stand back there. Wow, 2x4s and stuff leaned up against it from the back side. So you can't push it down. Well, you can't push it down. It's pretty strange. It's like they're trying to hide something.
Well, I guess they don't want you to see where they took it. The thing out there.
Well, you can see.
Yeah, you can see where they broke the stone.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they did it.
But see, what I would love to get hold of is this right here. You know, it was still. But see, even the marble's gone out of there.
Yeah,
You know, this part of it's gone. It's just the inside. I reckon they took it and used it somewhere else.
I don't know if I could just be putting something like that.
Underground is the way to go, I'd say.
Especially, I don't want to be up there.
Well, I've always looked at it this way. When we did, you never know the difference.
Well, the thing is, if he was still here, he'd be so easy to steal, you know. Because last time we were here, they had plywood up, but the other window over there, they didn't have anything over it.
Do they have anything over it now?
Yeah, there's something there, you can't see him now.
I'm always a horse's ass on everything.
But see, here, last year, they cleaned this place up. I mean, it was terrible last year. But here they had that, they got a machine that picks them up and sets them in there. Well, here they had a machine set right there. I mean, you know, bust the door down, take the machine in there and take him right out. You know, if he was still here, it'd be very simple.
But you know, I can't imagine what kind of sick man would steal a damn dead body.
I don't know. That's another reason why they were going to move him, because they caught some people coming here to steal him. But what I don't understand, what gets me is they talking about holding him for ransom. How you going to hold him for ransom? I mean, what are you going to do? Kill him again? You know.
Really?
I think they had something to hide as far as that goes. I think they were scared they would.
She and I have been introduced to an idea. We were introduced to it by, what was it, the star or the sun?
Yeah.
And I know, very seldom do I ever believe anything I read out of anything. But there was a lady that said that she saw him in a town in Michigan. And so there's several people that have seen him there.
Right, and Lisa Marie keeps going there.
Yeah, and the way that they believe is that Elvis was flown to Hawaii either the day before or the day that he was supposedly died. And there was a wax figure made of him and sent to Graceland. Whenever they allowed folks to come through, they wouldn't allow them to get very close to the casket. Nobody was allowed to touch the body or anything like that. And that picture that was in the Inquirer of him in the casket, now there was a lot of questions as to whether that was an actual photograph or not. But if it was, it didn't look nothing at all.
They said it was a wax figure put in there.
Well, a man told me night before last that he had read somewhere that the coffin before the body was installed and it weighed 700 pounds, and after the body was in it weighed 750. Now why in the world would they want to have a 750 pound casket? I mean, and they said that the casket was special made for him. Well, what did they do? Have one made up and stored somewhere? All that was planned.
Yeah.
Everything was
I'll
planned.
tell you, as far as the special made casket, yes, you can have one special made and stored.
Right, but that's, I mean,
And now,
that's kind of, yeah, I know you
Elvis
have it
was a
done.
little weird when it came to
Yeah,
death.
yeah, I'm
He
sure.
really was, because of him losing his twin brother at birth and then lost his mother. I mean, from what I understand from people that knew him personally, he was a little strange when it came to death.
Well, they say he used to go to the morgue and stuff like that, cemeteries at night and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Which, I mean, personally, I don't find that all that weird.
No, I don't either. I used to do the same thing.
Yeah, I hear you. I used to transport bodies.
What are we doing with this, guys?
I used to transport bodies for funeral homes.
Oh, really?
Out of Budget Parish Coroner's office in Shreveport, Louisiana, and stuff like that. It always intrigued me.
Me too. I love to go to a funeral. I mean, not to a funeral, but to like a graveyard and stuff at night. It's relaxing to
He
me.
couldn't even come over here to his mother's grave because people wouldn't leave him alone.
Well, when you go back out, could you show me where that is?
Because I'm going to show him where it
Okay.
is too.
Let me walk down here and take a picture of this so people will understand what the...
I'm kind of curious as to what this looks like.
Well, here's one you can go in. This is what it looks like. This is a great big one, though. See, it's just... They just stick the casket
There's not
right in.
anybody in, well, there's one.
Yeah, there's one right there. So here's one like his. I thought I had 6, but it's got 8.
So they don't look like there's anything there that he's in.
No, they probably won't put anybody in there.
No, that just belongs to the family. It will never be used probably.
Well,
It's really weird that
I may
somebody...
be wrong. And we talked to a lady, we've been down to the lady morning, which I was extremely disappointed with that.
Were you?
I was.
Well, I'm glad I didn't go there.
Well, I tell you what, if you've ever been in a 2-room shack, well then you've seen Elvis' first place. I'm not kidding you. Yeah, I'm serious.
Just a 2-room shack.
And that's all it is. You got a front room and you got a back room, and that's it. You got a wall.
If we had already been down there, I would have driven that.
Well, I heard that, or I assumed that there was like a museum and all that stuff down there. Is that not true?
Well, they call it a museum, but
There's really nothing there.
It's a joke.
I
you can
see.
go in one of these shops down here at Graceland and see everything that they got in that thing. With the exception of maybe 1 or 2 paintings.
Right.
Those you can can see.
Well, that was supposed to be this great big, God, all this, because I've got books and stuff that show everything that was planned to be down there, so it's not there.
See,
Yeah.
you can take, as you probably know, you can take photography and you can make the tiniest little thing look huge.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's true.
I had seen pictures of his, of the house where he lived and everything else, and I thought it was a lot bigger than it is.
Yeah, it's not very big.
But, it's just,
There's a lot to it, though. I mean, it's just, originally it was just a house, and now, man, there's just stuff everywhere. Have you been up there and been to the back and all that? It's pretty big. I mean, like, the main house is right here, and then it's got wings that go like 200 or 300 feet off each side. I mean, it's pretty big.
you sound like you're pretty avid Elvis.
Yes, sir. All the way.
What do you think about the stuff that they're doing down there in front of Greg's?
What, all the shops and stuff? It don't bother me. No, not really.
The shops and stuff don't bother me. The people around them do.
Yeah, well,
They're like vultures down there.
that's true. Man, this stuff,
And I'll
terrible.
tell you something.
High. I mean, it's just,
If Elvis was still alive and in the public eye and saw people making money off of him the way that he's doing, that they're doing, and not giving any of it to charity, just being such a vulture, he would have a shit fit.
yes, sir. You can believe that. But the thing that bothers me is I would love to be a tour guide or something like that. Those people don't really take any personal interest in it. It's just like, well, here's the house.
To them, it's
To them, right. If I was down there, I'm interested in something like that. I would be the perfect person to go through there. Man, I could tell them everything about everything.
Never let somebody like Mary, you be it.
Right, because we'd be trying to go upstairs.
She's probably going to be trying to sneak off into different parts of the house and shit. I know I would.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
Yes,
I
sir.
can't lie about it.
I'd sure be. Well, I tell you what, they tried to. I just about got arrested the night before last because I had jumped the fence at night and had my camera. And I mean, I was right up on the house taking pictures and all around behind it. And they finally caught me. I mean, but I got away and outside the fence and hid my film before they ever got up to me. So I've got a bunch of at night. I mean, they've got like a guard house with a guard in it. I got a picture of the guard in the guard house. I mean, I went right up to it.
Well, we were talking to this lady there at Elvis's workplace there in Tupelo, and she said that she's got some friends that have talked to people that actually lived there with Elvis at the time of his death. And they told her that they saw his body with the incisions in it where they had done an autopsy and all that. But now, they could be telling that to help keep the cover story. If Elvis was going to pull something like that off, he'd have to have every little detail.
Now, you say these people that grew up with him?
Lived in the house.
Lived in the house at the time.
They lived in the house at the time of his death.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Supposedly they saw the incisions on his body and stuff, but
Nah, they wouldn't let people see that stuff.
that'd be just like, say we lived in the same house, and I decided that I wanted to get out of the public's eye. All y'all would do whatever I asked,
That's right.
You'd tell people you'd seen this and you'd seen that.
Well, see,
they would believe that I was dead.
He had that he had an understanding with everybody. He was the boss and everybody, did what he said.
Just exactly.
And if anybody went against what he said, they were out of the group, and that was it, forever and ever. That's all,
No going back.
And that's, everybody's pretty, I mean, he had a tight circle.
That's right.
No doubt.
But
He could pull it off.
I believe.
The only people that he couldn't pull it off with is the hospital and but since then, the two guys on the ambulance.
I'm going to tell you something about that too. Elvis had enough money. If this hospital down here didn't want to cooperate with him, he could buy another one that would.
That's right.
I mean, plain and simple. It's plain and simple. Who had enough reason? He had all kind of reason to. I mean, the man could take a shit without somebody wanting his autograph.
That's right.
And he had plenty of means to do so.
Well, the two people that run the ambulance that come and picked him up, one of them is dead now. Out of the two people, so might decide to talk. You never know.
How did that person?
They say he died in a car crash, but you never know. It's really strange
I find it hard that Elvis.
No, well,
that Elvis would set something like that up.
well, I don't think so either.
But,
have you ever read that?
His friends could have gotten wind that the man
Right.
was fixing to talk and could have done it without Elvis.
Right. Well, what was that book we read? That was Elvis and Me, right? The Priscilla book.
Oh.
About he was going to go and kill that guy that said he told him he was going to kill him.
I don't buy that.
I don't know.
What now?
Well, the reason I say that is because I just really wasn't in step with Elvis' personality.
Well, I understand that, but I'm the same way now. I'm usually a real calm person, but if somebody called me and said, "Look, man, I'm going to kill you," I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'll be right there."
But I'm from Wicked County here in Tennessee, up in northwest Tennessee. I know there's a lady up there that her husband had cancer, and he was in the hospital down here in Memphis, and the same one with Elvis. Elvis was in there on one of his RIRs, and he learned about this man and his wife. They had 2 kids back there in Wicked County, and she was having to drive back and forth every day because she didn't have anybody to leave the kids with, and they had to be in school and all that kind of shit. And, but anyways, after Elvis found out about him, there was a knock on a man's door one afternoon, and the lady opened the door, and she said, he said, "I'm so-and-so, and Elvis Presley would like to speak with you." And she thought it was just a joke, but she went on with him anyway, and sure enough, Elvis wanted to talk to her. And he talked to her for a little bit, carried her over to the window there and pulled back some of the aluminum foil and pointed out a particular station wagon in the parking lot and asked her did she like the color of it and the kind that it was and all that. And she said she did. And he handed her the keys to it and told her to make darn sure that as soon as she got home to get the title out of the envelope in the car and have it changed over in her name. So not to waste any time doing it. So do it as soon as you get home so you don't forget it. And she got down to the car and it was so full of groceries that the only vacant spot in that car was enough room for her to sit to drive it home. That's all it was. It was loaded down with groceries, up under the seats and everything. And she kept on driving back and forth to Memphis. She forgot about getting the envelope out. Thought more about it. And they got down to their last dime. She didn't know how she was going to make another trip down there. And she opened up the glove box. She had to think about that time. She opened up the glove box and get it out and opened up the envelope for several $1,000s in there. Cash money that he had put in there. And he also paid for having her and the kids brought down here to Memphis and having them put up in a motel down here. And he paid for a private tutor for her kids so that they wouldn't miss any class. And then paid the man's hospital bill and paid his funeral bill. And you know, a man like that I find hard.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it's hard.
Well, I mean, I'm 100% Elvis now, you know, but
anybody when cornered, the animal instinct will come out.
that's right.
And he was always afraid that somebody would kill him or that somebody would kill his daughter. You want to see where that rock is?
Yes, sir. Certainly would.
Going over there.
Love to.
But like I said, if anybody on the face of the earth ever had reason to or means to do it, Elvis did it.
That's right. Well, you know, Howard Hughes pulled it off several times.
Oh yeah, several times.
Howard Hughes died 3 or 4 times. That's crazy.
But this girl there, where Elvis was.
And you know, he was kind of intrigued with Howard Hughes.
They do have it covered up.
Got some plastic or something over it on him.
It looks like a trash bag.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
That's exactly what it is, trash bag. And that's something. Tell you what, people don't have any shame.
What do you mean don't have any shame? Talking about shipping stuff away and all that.
Well, putting trash bags over the man's window, you know. I mean,
That is kind of cheap and low down.
yeah. I mean, really. What, we're going to have to drive there?
Yeah, it's round over the back.
Okay.
That's what I crossed.
So this right here is where that
That's where the cross.
statue like this was.
There ain't nothing on up in there.
Isn't that something? Now, she was buried on this side of it, is that correct?
Yeah, this out here.
She buried right here.
When did they put her up there?
The same day they did Elvis.
Oh,
Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
Another lady there at his birthplace there in Tupelo, whenever I offered that idea to her that Elvis could have done something like that, she said, well, no, I said, he wouldn't have done anything like that because if he'd have done it, look at the lawsuits he'd have against him.
What, if he'd have done what?
If he'd just disappeared that
Faked his death?
Yeah.
Who can sue it?
What lawsuits? And I asked her that, and she
Only-
like Lisa Marie for grief and stuff. The thing about it is, if he did something
She's
like
in
that,
on
the
it.
family would be in on it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The whole family knows.
Yeah.
You know, if anybody knows, the family knows. He's not going to leave his family. He loved his family, you know. He's just going, well, you know, he liked everybody. That's the thing. He just,
He needed
you know,
privacy.
man, sometimes you got to have some rest. You know,
He
20
was
straight
getting
years of
out.
people, you know, trying to rip your clothes off of you every day, you know, it gets old after a while. See, now if he is alive, he's where he can walk around freely. You know, he can walk into a grocery store and do about what he wants to.
Read said that he had a beard and said that he was kind of rough looking and everything else, but said you could still recognize him.
I'd know him if I saw him.
Well, I never saw him in person, but I think I would. Now, I may be wrong, but I think I would.
Seems to me like there would almost be a aura or something like that, you know. You know, a feeling, you know, like he's 10 foot wide or something like that, you know.
Hey, I told her,
It really feels like that to me.
ever figure out what it was about him that attracted so many people? I mean, I hate to say this, but it's the truth. The death of Christ didn't even affect as many people.
That's the truth. I don't.
If anybody could ever figure out what that was and instill that in somebody else, they'd be a millionaire overnight.
That's the truth. I don't understand what it is.
I
I don't know what it is that makes me. I mean, I'm not even really old enough to have been an Elvis fan. I just kind of caught on, you know. But I don't know what it is that brings me down here. 23.
23. I'm 27. Excuse me, 28 this year.
But see, I got to liking him. I always liked him, but see, during the time that I liked him, I was listening to Hound Dog, and this was in the early 70s, you know, and that was way back. You know, people weren't even listening to that, and Elvis records where I came from were not something you went into the record store and bought because there were none. You know, I'm sure you could get them around here, but in North Carolina, they just won't any, you know.
Well, it's the same way in Martin, Tennessee.
Oh, really?
Northwest corner of West Tennessee, they were just non-existent. Every now and then you'd find
Right. Well, I had a friend that had always been an Elvis collector. You know, he was about my same. Matter of fact, he's about a year younger than me, but his brother had liked him, so he kind of caught on from his brother, and he kind of turned me on to it. You know, I bought a tape from him, and I started liking him. And during that same time, that's when he died in 1977. And from there on out, you know, it just kind of picked up.
I heard a lot of people saying, I read a lot of articles that said the thing that turned people on to Elvis was his honesty and his this and his that. It's bullshit. There was something about a song, if you're as avid as you say you are, you'll understand what I say. Every time I hear a song of his, it's like getting an acid fix, you know?
That's right.
It's like getting a heroin fix. It kind of does something to you.
It's really strange.
That's Elvis Presley Boulevard right there. If you just follow this road right here, go all the way out to
Mhm.
the back gate. That'll be Elvis Presley.
Yeah. Well, see, we've already been I've been everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere you can think of. I even rode the roller coaster he used to ride. The Pippin.
Yeah.
It's still here, the same one.
But, no, if that's the only place you like is going down to Tupelo, I guess you could go and say that you've been there, but I was a very disappointed.
Well, we're not going to go. We're going to go back to Nashville.
Like I told Vicky, you stop and you think about it, and everything that was ever written about the house says that it was two-room shack. Elvis said it was two-room shack.
Mm-hmm. That's what it was.
So what's there to see about a two-room shack except 2 rooms, 8 walls, a roof, you
The
know?
only thing that's in there that even says anything about Elvis is a picture of him and his mom and dad.
On the wall, yeah. And it's probably a reproduction. So.
Well, they say it's the original.
Oh, really?
That's what they said. That's what the lady that was in the house said. But, as far as furniture and stuff, you know, whenever they moved from there up to Memphis, they took
They
all
carried
that
everything
stuff
they had with them.
So, what they did was there was a lot of the Presley family that stayed around there for several years, and they just got with them, and they donated stuff that was typical of the furniture.
Well, I just got back. Uncle Vester's up there at his house or across the street, and I took some pictures of him just a few minutes ago.
Is it Dr. Buster is up there right now?
Yeah, I just got some pictures of him. But
I ain't seen Dr. Buster. I don't think I ever even seen any pictures of him. What does it look like?
I can show you a picture of him.
So friends, if you made it all the way through that, I'm very thankful for a couple of things. For one thing, my wife and I had been married just a little over a year. We were married in February of 1997. This was July of 1998, so we hadn't been married that long. She doesn't care anything about Elvis stuff, so she didn't really care about being there, but she was there with me. And I'm also thankful for cameras being a lot better today and my ability to be a lot better today than it was then. This was literally my first time going out and making videos with a camera of any kind. So you can see I've been making Elvis videos since 1988. I've just not had anybody to share it with. In all those years, I decided I would start sharing my knowledge and the things that I've learned and the things that I've studied. And I will bring you as much Elvis stuff as I can find, interesting things that you've never heard before, and we'll have fun together and learn about things. And if there's things that you know of that you don't think other people may know about, private message me through YouTube, and we can talk about it. And if it's something I'm not familiar with, I will talk to you about it, and we'll see what we can figure out, and I can go make a video about it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and tighten up, friends. Thank you so much.